To Anisha, who's from Mumbai, and she's here to study. She's a young Indian blogger. Hello, Anisha.
Hi, thanks for having me on the show.
That's okay. Thanks for being on it. What do you think? What do you think about these women who are making a stand? Is it acceptable? Are they asking for trouble, or is it going to have a positive effect?
I personally think it's so empowering. Like, I think it's brilliant what they're doing, because it's one of the few actions that have been so proactive and so practical. Like, because you have laws and you have these things made at the center, but you don't, like, at night, if there is no police, or even if there is the police, like, there are still terrible things happening. So I think this is such a like hands-on strategy to have, and I think I'm all for it. And I would completely agree with what Geeta is saying, but I'd probably disagree on one thing, that, if I'd like, so the question that you posed to her, if she was to walk at night in Noida or Gurgaon, I would be quite scared, and I would be scared because I'm a woman. Like, my gender would be very relevant to me, because, I mean, having lived in India for like 19 years now, I know that even if I was in Mumbai is like, it tends to be a lot safer than Noida, is what I've heard. But even if I was to walk all alone on a deserted street at 10 p.m. at night, I would be quite worried. Like, but having lived here for a year, it wouldn't be the same. Like, I wouldn't be that scared if I was to walk like in the UK. But
Anisha, tell us a bit about what it's like to be a young woman in India on her own. I mean, do you have to be on your toes all the time? Do you have to be conscious of the way men look at you, or when men talk to you? Are you always suspicious? Or, when you're walking down the road, are you always aware, as opposed to being a young woman here? Are you a bit more relaxed here? Have you found it a big difference? Give us a bit of an insight.
I think I do feel like I travel by the local trains as well, back home in Mumbai. It's important to be alert, definitely. Like, when I am in a public space, it depends where I am. Though there are parts of Mumbai where it's completely fine if you walk around in shorts and nobody's going to give you a second glance. But there are places where men will stare at you for no reason, simply because you are a woman. Like, there is absolutely, you could be wearing like a really loose t-shirt, jeans, but they would still stare at you. So I think it's important. Like, I have noticed that I am much more alert when I'm in Mumbai, and I notice these things a lot more than I do over here. Would
you have confidence in the police to help you there? I mean, what sort of help do the police provide? Do you have women's safety classes out there? Do you have like rape alarms or whistles out there, for your protection? I mean, there's a lot. We know what happens in the UK and how women are trained, to help raise an alarm if anything like that happens here, or self-defense classes. Is there equivalent of that there in India?
I feel like it wouldn't be to that extent, but they have been doing quite a bit. Like, they do have like an emergency service, especially for women, and I tend to see like police vans roaming around a lot saying for the protection of women and children. So specifically for our protection. So I think that is helpful. I've never tried to call the number. I don't know how effective it is, but the government is doing much. But I personally think that, like, this is why I think that the initiative taken by Loitter, the group, this is why I think that it's so relevant and so important, because it's like the civilians as well who have to like stand up against this. I don't know if the police is just enough, because as you were saying, it's the mindset of the men that need to change, the mindset of women as well, like of society in the villages, in the towns, because I think that starts with education. Like, I can't think of any other solution except for like educating the people about respecting women, about sex education, like simple things like that.
And Anisha, finally, what do you think? Would you join these women and make a stand at night? Would you feel safe?
I would love to. I'd definitely like to join these women, because I also think there's strength in numbers, right? If I was alone, I'd be scared. But if I was with these group of women who are like taking back the streets and saying it's their right to be able to walk at 2 a.m. at night, I would definitely join them.
Yes, definitely a group of women are very effective, as any henpecked husband will tell you. Anisha, thank you very much. You're listening to the BBC Asian Network, and we were talking about a gang there who were going out at night, at midnight, and making a stand against violence against women. Right now, we're going to go to a track, and then we're going to join you after that.